right, welcome into Strange Ways. This is episode 26. I am Rob, that is Scott, and much like episode 25 being Scott's happy zone, we're in my happy zone with this particular album that we're going to break down. Before we get into that, we did get together with Scott Simmons and yesterday spent a couple hours doing our review of the Kiss Animalize Uncensored home video, and it was all for naught due to technical issues pretty much through the whole thing, and the finished product was pretty much unwatchable. So we'll have him on again as soon as we can. We'll probably skip over that for now so we don't have to rehash everything amongst ourselves over and over again. But you almost ready there, Chief?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here's Scotty to let you know what's going on.
All right, dudes. We're going to go over something today and rank it that, I guess would have been kind of appalling to me at first, because this is the only Kiss album, and I always say album, CD, cassette, whatever you want to call it, Kiss album that came out that I did not buy when it come out. This is the only one.
Blasphemy.
And yeah, it is now. It is now. I can't believe I didn't do it then, but I seen it in the record stores. I bought every Kiss album from when I come into it, what I didn't have to backtrack on. I bought exactly when it came out, but this one. And when I seen it in the on the shelf, the music from the Elder, I did not know what the hell was going on, and it kind of throwed me into a loop, and I may have bought AC/DC or Judas Priest or Iron Maiden or whatever with my money that day. I cannot really remember, but it was actually 1990 before I heard this in its entirety. That's how long it was before and the funny story is, a girl that I was dating at the time had this album. She had the damn album. And I'm like, you know, I mean, because me and her went to like 2 Hot in the Shade concerts. And
let me get this straight. You were dating a girl who had the Elder before you, went to 2 Hot in the Shade concerts, and you didn't marry that girl?
Well, hey, man, circumstances were, I was 20, she was 19, and we dated for about a year and a half, and you know how things went back then, man,
Yep.
But I'll have to say, probably out of everybody that I've ever dated in my life, me and her had more in common than anybody I ever dated. She loved this stuff. She loved concerts. We loved doing it. Maybe we had too much in common. Hell, I don't know. You know how they say opposites attract, but still,
Yep.
We never quarreled about what we were doing. I mean, and the only girl I think I ever dated that you actually have a decent conversation with that was interesting. Sorry, girls, but it just, there you go, man. So, but anyway,
yeah. Before you get yourself in trouble, we do have at least one female listener.
Yeah, I never even got that with my wife. So, just the way it goes, man. And you talking about off the track. Now, that's what that was. But anyway, and when I listened to it, I still had mixed feelings about it because of some of the stuff on it, but over time now, this is something that I can say I truly love. Not just like.
Okay, so what? That came out in 81?
81, yes.
Okay, so in 9 years, the curiosity never got the best of you while you heard all the controversy about this album to check it out for 9 years?
I had heard things off of it, like Mr. Blackwell and World Without Heroes, But I think that may be it. I kid you not. And
Okay.
that's just my story. And, I told you the story already. I bought the cassette. This was like a year or two after me and her broke up. And I put the cassette in. I had a little Honda Accord or something at the time. And it stayed in the cassette player for like 5 months or something like that. That's all I listened to was this while I was in my vehicle. So, yeah, a lot of changes over time, guys. And we're going to run it down for you. Least favorite to favorite tracks. And like Rob said, this is his territory over mine. There's things I love on here. There's things I can go, and there's things that I really, really don't like. And we are going to count fanfare.
Oh yeah, they're all tracks. So.
Yeah. So, all right. Now, you'll be taking up the helm on this one, I think, right? I believe I took the helm.
Could be.
Rock and roll over, yeah.
All right. Well, understand, everybody, there is not anything on this that I dislike at all. Nothing. But being the fact that I never have been and never will be an instrumental guy, these first two are not going to be a surprise. The one that is my least favorite is kind of hard to throw in when it's a minute 20, but it is what it is, and that is Fanfare. However, I did notice something tonight, and when I was listening to it on Spotify, I don't know, it was from the Music from the Elder remaster series, so I don't know if this was on the first original master of it, but I played the hell out of this album when I was a kid. I never realized that if you wait till the very end of Fanfare, they got some in the distant, like monks chanting that I did not fucking know was on there till tonight. Yeah. I had no idea. So I just thought it was the trumpets, and all that, the whole orchestra type thing, but I never caught that before. Maybe it was the static on the album because it's as the song's quieting down, getting ready for the next track, whatever the case, but I don't remember hearing that before. Again, if this would have been a movie, you would have understood this fanfare a little bit more. It would have meant a little bit more, kind of like the talking at the end of I, which that reminds me of, for all of you science fiction buffs from the 70s and 80s, the Battlestar Galactica original series, the Baltar, the bad guy, and then there was that weird creature with a face and a robe that sat in a chair, and the Cylons. It kind of reminded me of a scene from that. Again, context can't be given really because there wasn't even a script or a synopsis released for this, so it's kind of just left up for your own imagination. So Fanfare, that's a long story longer, is number 11 because it's an instrumental, because it's trumpets. The monk thing is awesome. But instrumentals, no matter who does it, even Eric Johnson's by Musicom, which I love, is never going to rate higher than last place against things with words. That's just who I am. So Fanfare, number 11.
Yeah, and pretty much what he said, guys, is the same place for me. And let me take it back. I don't hate anything on here, but I just truly dislike a couple of tunes on here, and that's it. So, yeah, I wouldn't go as far as say hate. That's a little bit too much. But anyway, okay. Now, I have to agree with the Space Ace on this one because even though he was way out there, man, he called it on this one. This is not the time. This is not going to work. I mean, you say, and he never really said it was a bad album. He just said, this ain't going to work. This is just not going to work, guys. This is not what, but anyway, Fanfare, It's just like an intro or ending. I don't know. I can't. The fanfare, is that what
It
starts
is
off
the
the
it is the
original album?
intro. No, the oddly enough,
Okay.
the Spotify listing on this usually has the albums in order. I couldn't find the original album order on there. It started out, in fact, with Fanfare and then went into Just a Boy. And you didn't get a heavy song. Odyssey didn't appear till midway through. So, but the original album started with The Oath, went into Fanfare, which went into Just a Boy. So it was kind of an
Okay.
intro to Just a Boy.
Okay. I know there was a different song selection when this thing came out, and they done
Yeah.
something to it over time. So I've got the
Oddly enough,
updated.
it did flow very well when I was listening to it tonight with the alternate track listing, but it's not what I remember. I would actually, if you don't mind not starting out heavy, it actually works. The Spotify track listing on this, and I don't know if that was done by Kiss on a remaster or if that's just, I don't know. All I know is what the original track listing was. It isn't on Spotify. It actually worked on Spotify, but you don't get anything heavy till 4 or 5 songs in.
Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter to me if it starts out slow or not, if I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
if it hits me, I don't care. So, yeah. But fanfare, yeah, I mean, not because it's horrible. It's just a little intro of music. That's it. That's why it's
Yeah.
at the bottom for me. We clicked
Okay,
on
number
one.
10. Go ahead.
We
What'd you
clicked
do?
on one.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
We got.
I got you. Okay, number 10. Turns out I like this a lot more than I think I did, but still an instrumental. Escape from the Island. Going back now and listening to it, I like it much better because it's not just an instrumental that showcases the lead guitarist. I mean, there's some good rhythm and drums in this thing. It's a catchy tune. It does get into what I've mentioned before on a previous video, something I've never heard before midway through, where you got pretty much just like island drums or tribal drums going with just the ace ripping the shit out of the guitar. I mean, no bass, no rhythm, no nothing. And I don't remember ever hearing a solo like that. So the solo in the middle of this is very unique. The song overall is a very catchy listen, but again, instrumental, number 10.
Okay. This is where we split paths right here, guys. And now, fanfare, I really didn't have much to pick on. And I didn't really, there's not, you know what this is, you know what this was about, and something that never became. Okay. So I'm not going to go there with that. Maybe I should have put these two below that, but I didn't. All right. Now, this is a song that I do not like at all. And I don't think I ever have. I got you. I got you. But it's not what probably you think it is. I know what you're thinking that I'm going to say, but it's not. I bet this one shocks you. And I don't understand why they chose it to play live on television.
Oh, okay.
Because
You're
it's
good.
the stupidest song I've ever heard. And I believe in me and I believe in. Get the hell out of here. Are you serious? Are you trying to get rid of fans? I mean, if that's your intention to repel people, then you've done a damn good job with that song. I mean, dude, that is horrible by the worst standards. That's almost as bad as Bang Bang Mute, in my opinion. I'm telling you right now.
Hey.
I know nothing would get you. But look, why didn't you just name it I Believe in Me or something? I. We got a song out, man. We're going to play it. It's called I.
Yeah, you know
I,
what? Try searching for that song title on the internet once. Just capital letter I without adding kiss or anything else.
and look, I've given this song chances. The music's not bad. I'm not a lyric guy, but damn, you can't not avoid them damn lyrics and how they are singing them. It's like they're robots almost. And look, I'm not gonna go on much further, but I just and I don't know. I don't get it. I guess I'm one that don't.
Oh shit!
I can't help it. I just don't like that. I don't like the way they sing it. I don't need no money. Yeah, damn.
Hey, you don't like his Elvis impression?
Hell, that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. He's trying. What fucking hell? Him and his cut hair with his headband on and the boots. It looks like Gene Simmons boots, but they're black, coming up above his knees. Holy hell. All right, I'm done. I'm done. All right, that's my number. That's my number 10.
All right.
Yep.
All right. My number 9 is a song that I really like. Keep in mind, I got this album in 81, not 90. So I was 11 years old. So to me, this was cool. It was cool as hell to see them do it on Solid Gold. As I rapidly ascended into teen years and adulthood and even re-listening tonight, this is the most egregious Kiss song that I have heard in recent history. I'm right there with you. You pretty much said everything about I. This fucking song is so goddamn cheesy. And like Scott said, the riff, the music, the song is good. And like Scott, and I preached it even on my reaction channel when people get all butthurt that, how can you not like this song? Look what it means. I don't give a fuck about lyrics. But like you said, sometimes lyrics blink like a big fucking neon sign. This is as after school special Mr. Rogers cheesy as it fucking gets. I hate that fucking, you can do it. You can do it. I cannot stand it. That is so lame and cheesy. There is a way to have an anthem to empower your fans. Rock and roll all night, shout it out loud. That is cool. And then there's ABC After School Special lame with I. And yes, the Elvis impersonation is one of the most ridiculous things. I would like to ask him, is that what you were fucking going for? Because it sounds like it right, a line right out of Hound Dog, the way he was fucking singing that. Horrible, horrible fucking lyrics. As good as the tune is, the lyrics, I'm embarrassed for them. So there you go. That's my number 9.
And they chose this to play out of all the stuff on here. Why couldn't they have played Mr. Blackwell or something? I mean, look, I'm not going to get too carried away on the songs, but that really blew what hair I had back then back. You know, because I did see these, not long, after I started listening to the album, so we did have videotapes,
Yeah.
But, man, okay. All right, let's get past I and let's go to number 9. And my number 9 is Odyssey. Okay. I really dove into this to try to grab hold of the way Paul is singing this. But this is one that Far Off Galaxy, I hear you calling me, and I just, and the way he's singing it, he doesn't sing this like he's like he sings the other one. Oh my God. This as far as my hypocrisy goes, though. After this, we get that much better, and then the rest of them I love. So this one here is better than I am pronouncing that song. I just, yeah, it's just not. And look, I understand why they done it. I understand the idea, the whatever was supposed to be. But if it don't come to fruition, why do you not see it on this album?
That's it. And we discussed that before. Why release the album before the movie's at least made and through production and just waiting for a release date? This was way premature. Yeah. The movie was in its concept inception. It wasn't even, didn't hire anybody. To my knowledge, there was no script or storyline. So why release a soundtrack prematurely?
A freaking idea. A freaking idea. Okay. But you're confusing the hell out of people if you don't have something, like you said. But anyway, that's my number 9, Odyssey.
Okay. Number 8 for me, also done on Solid Gold, and I absolutely understand why they released this as a single. It's been covered by many people, not ironically. Cher was one of them. A World Without Heroes. It's a good ballad, a true ballad. You get to see how soulful Paul actually can play lead guitar. If he wanted to be a lead guitarist, he'll never be a shredder. I don't care about shredders. That solo is one of the most beautiful solos that I've ever heard in a Kiss song. I, even as a kid, was horrified and humiliated with the Gene Simmons tear coming down at the end. That was beyond cheesy and ridiculous. But I like the song. It just, a ballad without being a power ballad's never going to rank high for me, so it falls at number 8.
Yeah. And of course, that's the first thing I see video-wise of this album was that video, and it blew my mind. But as sick and twisted as it is, I liked the video. I thought them standing back.
The video was beautiful, gorgeous lighting and setting. It's just, I don't like that tear that comes down. I think that was stupid.
Okay, I got you. Okay, number 8 for me is, and I'll never understand it, never did understand it, but I don't hate it because there's a part in it that I actually really like. And it's Ace, Dark Light. Ace's vocals on this is probably the worst time I've ever heard him sing. And I don't know where they're going with this either. And he hits the Vinnie Vincent solo there in the middle and just starts just freaking, that's the part that I actually like. He's not shredding, man. He's just playing a powerhouse solo, and you could call it shredding.
Hold on. I need to make a correction. I misspoke on Escape from the Island solo with the shredding and just the drums. That's in Dark Light. So,
yeah.
When he started talking about Dark Light, it just dawned on me, hey, idiot, you put the solo take in the wrong song. Okay, so there we go. Go ahead.
But Dark Light. Darkness never ending, the dark light. I just can't find the groove for that song and never have. I don't hate it because of he does redeem himself by playing the hell out of the guitar, but it doesn't make up for the cheesy just song. The lyrics on this album stands out like hell, bro. I mean, it hits you in the face, man. There's no misinterpreting anything. I mean, they even damn near pause between words, for God's sakes. But I've never been crazy about the song. the lead I love actually, but that's it. And
Okay.
that's why it wound up in my number 8 spot. Is that right? 8, yep.
Yep.
So yeah,
Fair
Dark
enough.
Light, man.
We've been off just by one on a couple of these, and my number 7 is Dark Light. I like this more than Scott does, though I too like one part of this aspect of this song that sells it to me better. And as I said, the chorus may be a little cheesy, and maybe not even cheesy, a good word, just without the movie context, kind of confusing. What Dark Light? What the hell are you singing about? But I do like when he'll say like, "Look out," and then he goes into his talk, and you don't know. I mean, that's cool. I like that because you don't get to see Ace change up his vocal style ever. It's kind of the monotone, straight ahead. So that kind of gives his voice a little more personality for me. Unlike you, can't stand that fucking solo. And it's not the solo, it's the fact that it's just a drum track behind him. Why do you pull the bass and the rhythm out of the mix? I don't get what they were going for there. It just, it to me sounds like, some tribal music. And then Ace says, "Hey, that's a good beat. Let me shred to it." I mean, it's kind of pointless. It doesn't fit the song. It's like a big, what the hell is this? Great guitar playing. Don't get me wrong. It's great. It would have been a great solo to end a song or something like that, but it just doesn't belong in the song. That being said, it's a great solo and really showcases the versatility that Ace does have. So there you go. Dark Light.
Yeah, and I take it back. I do like when I just don't like the chorus at all. I do like when he's, watch out, because
Yeah.
there's something wrong, or it's too late, and he starts talking. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But the damn chorus is hell, man. And just like the chorus and I, okay, like now, my number 7 is Escape from the Island. Now, this is one that I do like. I like this. Way better than Car Jam.
Oh God.
This is a jamming. I love the jam on this, man. I get into that. The siren and stuff, man. I can do this, man. It would have been cool if they'd have made a song out of that. I mean, I don't know what, as long as it's not high or dark light. But anyway, it's an instrumental, guys, but there's some instrumentals that I can tolerate. It's never going to be number 1 for me, but it's just according how bad the other material is for me, where an instrumental is going to wind up for me. And this so happens to be one that I really, really like. Yeah.
Well, and to piggyback on that, I don't want people to think that I did not like this since it was number 10. I agree with Scott perfectly. This should have been a song. That is one of the coolest riffs and rhythms that I on this album, probably short of maybe the rhythm intro to The Oath. But at the end of the day, for me, I can appreciate talent and composition of instrumentals. I need words. I don't care if it's in Japanese. I need words. I need, that's just who I am. So I do love, especially after tonight listening to it. God damn it, that is a good jam. But I can't justify a band who sings songs ranking their non-vocal songs above their vocal song. Even if a vocal song's terrible and I hate it and I like the instrumental's always going to get rated lower, just because to me, a song for me is not complete without words.
That would have been good to pull out live after something.
Yeah.
Like they do Let Me Go Rock and Roll or something like that. How they, that go into it instead of doing the Who in the middle of Lick It Up, man. Why didn't they jerk us out? I mean, just thinking, out
The
loud here,
people, the
man.
fucking diehards would have they would have went fucking ape shit if they put that in the middle of a song just out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, and live's a whole different thing than listening to an instrumental on
Yeah,
CD.
absolutely. Because you got the visual. I mean, it's
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so that was your number 7, you said?
7.
Okay.
Yep.
Number 6. And this gets, I'm surprised Scott didn't put this lower. That's what I originally thought when he started with his number 11 with his negative comments. And every podcast rips this to shreds, and it's my time to shine and explain to people why this song is much better than they understand, and that is Odyssey. Now, I understand Scott's take and probably a lot of these other podcasters being older than I am, even if it is only a couple years, being into things that I really am not, AC/DC, Iron Maiden, stuff like that. You guys tend to, glom onto the heavier stuff. I was a hard rock and metal guy, but my backup wasn't even heavier metal like you guys. My backup was pop rock, radio rock. And in my later years, and it doesn't even matter because back when this came out, I still loved it, but I didn't learn to appreciate why I loved it till I discovered maybe a decade ago how much I love classical light music, all of Sarah Brightman, Andre Bocelli stuff. It's kind of got a pop feel to it instead of just a fat chick singing opera. But his voice in this is unfucking believable. And you may say it sounds like cheesy or it's what the fuck is he doing? I've never heard his voice like that. Chances are it's because you don't appreciate operatic type music.
Yeah.
The talent he showcased here obviously was a precursor to him much, much later in life, getting the lead in Phantom of the Opera, the musical. He went on to do a duet with Sarah Brightman from the classical world, which is a fabulous song. He had an unbelievable rendition of the Folgers coffee commercial. If you guys haven't heard that, I encourage you to YouTube that shit. That is some of the greatest goddamn things. There's even a video, or, a commercial for it with him in there. He's got short hair and everything. Fucking fabulous. Anyway, all comedy aside, his voice in this does everything. From the flat out male, opera sounding voice to the breakdown where he goes into the falsettos, and the song is just up and down emotionally. It's a gorgeous composition with the symphony orchestra in there. Absolutely fabulous. I don't look at this, and I didn't at 11 years old, like that's not my Kiss. See, that's the difference between me and almost every other Kiss fan I've met. I never looked at each album was its own entity. I never got a Destroyer and said, "Whoa, it's so polished. Why doesn't it sound like, the first album?" I didn't have that attitude. To me, everything Kiss did was awesome. I've obviously learned that's not true now, but that's how I looked at it. I found something to appreciate in every album because I believed in this band. And being open-minded like that, and this is the only band I was open-minded to. You asked Darren, I'm one of the closed-mindedest motherfuckers and judge shit prematurely all the time when it comes to other music. But with Kiss, I listen. Okay, that's not great. What is in this song that actually says this has got talent? This is for a reason. And yes, if you had context with the movie, much like everything on this album, it would make much more sense. But I just appreciate his vocal and his and the symphony in here. The orchestration to it is just amazing to me.
Okay.
So there you go. I had to defend it. This is my only time to defend it.
Hey, that's fine. That's perfect, man. I'm going to piggyback on you before I move on and say it's not that I don't appreciate his talent, that he can do that. I do. Or anybody that can. But when it comes to Paul's voice and this sound, I do not like. And just like
And
Hold
that's
Me,
fair.
Touch Me.
That's absolutely fair.
Yeah, he pulls that out on that Hold Me, Touch Me. He's got that,
Right, right.
that side.
But
That's
see,
what, but
at least you're fair enough to say, I just don't fucking like that. These other
yeah.
podcasts are acting like Paul was a miserable fucking failure. And you see how shitty he sounded? I guarantee you, ask anybody in the classical world or the Broadway play world what they think of his vocals on that song, and they're going to give you a rude awakening because they're all
Oh,
going to
yeah.
say good things about it. That's where I draw the line. It's one thing to say, this death metal band sucks and that's a terrible song. Well, yeah, he sounds like he's vomiting on the microphone and no one can understand what he's saying. But when someone does something very well, it just happens to be in a genre or style you don't care for, just say that. Say, I hate this song. I hate this style. But when they come on here saying he sucked at it, I'm thinking, you fucking don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they ain't never really sucked at anything. I mean, hell, look at their career. I mean, yeah, there's things that we're gonna hate and love, but still they survived. Man, and that's just the way it goes,
Yeah.
Well, I might redeem myself a little bit with my next one because this one's jumped about 4 or 5 spots since the last time I listened to this. I think it was just above Odyssey. And it's one that I do really, really like now. And it's Just a Boy.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the way he sings this, I like. Okay. It's he's changed tactics. He's with that lighter, just a boy. Yeah, he's got that in there with this one, man. It's not the far off galaxy, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
And the music, it's not bad, man. I am just. I mean, there's some rock in this song, man. I mean, it picks up. So yeah, and I did not give it a chance. I'll admit, back in the day because of the way it started out. It was soft singing, but I like his voice in this one, and I love how it gets them heavy riffs in there, man, and with them drums. And I can dig this, dude. Just a Boy, number 6 for me.
Okay, number 5. This one just keeps climbing the list ever since I was young, and I always loved it. Actually, kind of scared the hell out of me at 11 years old. Mr. Blackwell. This is a side of Gene we've never seen. This makes like Hate off a Carnival of Souls seem very, normal. This is the weirdest song I've ever heard from the, instead of what would be a rhythm guitar, just a bass guitar with echo on it. The way he sings it is so beyond evil. I love everything about this fucking song now. This is one of his greatest songs. And I think, if a lot of people would go back and treat this album, and I'm not saying just Kiss fans, any rock and metal fan, if they'd go back and treat this album as its own identity instead of comparing it to whatever their favorite band is, Van Halen, Metallica, whatever, and just listen. It's some incredible, incredible stuff. And that's why I want to come through the screen every time I hear Paul or Gene running their mouth about it. I just want to fucking strangle them, Ace included. Ace does some of his best guitar shit on here, and he shits on it. I mean, it's just, I cannot believe the level of disrespect the band gives themselves just because it didn't go over with the critics. What if this would have been critically acclaimed and would have went quadruple platinum and would be considered as great as some of the all-time, soundtracks? Would they still have that attitude of it sucked?
Yeah, but I've never heard Ace shit on this album. I heard Ace say it was the wrong thing to do at the time. I never heard him say that this was shit. Now, if you have, then hey, I'll take your word for it. But I do remember him saying it's just not going to click, man. This is not this is not what we need to be putting out. You know,
Oh, and that's
he was
valid,
kind of like,
but in fairness, when would this album ever have clicked with Kiss fans? It wouldn't have. So
probably
when is the right
1990.
time? When is the right time to put it out? I mean, they thought, in
Right before
fairness,
grunge
I
hit.
guarantee this probably doesn't come out if someone hadn't sold them on the movie idea.
This would probably been like Carnival of Souls was done. You
Yeah,
know,
just
if you
an
think about it.
afterthought release.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's make some
Gotcha.
money, put it out.
Yep.
You know.
All right.
Okay. I will. Yeah, I love Mr. Blackwell too. So yeah, that ain't changed. But anyway, I'll get there. Now, the next one on my list, number 5, is a song that I actually, to be honest with you, I've heard the majority of people, this is their favorite song on here that I've heard. Now, that's just what I've heard. And it's a song I've always liked, and probably true to form, the jamminest song from front to back on here. It's The Oath.
You betcha.
And I've always liked this. I mean, this is rocking out. You know, like you said, there's something for damn near everybody on this album. Any kind, you know, just give it a chance, like you said. But the reason it wound up in 5th is because, of course, there's 4 more that I like better on here. And Paul's, I'm an Echo guy now, but it's almost, his vocals in this, it's almost like he's standing at a distance singing, and the whole thing is echoing the whole time. Have you ever noticed that on his voice on this? It's like he's back here singing and the band's up there. High, you know, but it's still, I like it. I mean, however they recorded this, it's a lot different than his other vocals on this album, the way it's recorded. I don't know what they done, but it's just not bad. And I mean, I like it. I always liked it. I love the dun 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 dun. You know, they rocked the shit out of this one. And I'm not going to say this is definitely the one that you should have come out with first if you're going to come out with something that's out. So to represent, hey, we're still here type vibe, you know. But The Oath, number 5, and I like all these songs here, man. You know,
and I don't know if anything could have saved this overall for album sales, but much like we discussed in one of our, I think our first or second episode about single releases, it would have helped if they did not start, you know, representing this album with a ballad like A World Without Heroes.
Yeah, man. That's
like you said, you're already catching heat because there's no Kiss on the cover. The only reason people know it's the Kiss album is because there's a tiny little logo in the upper, right-hand corner. Nobody knows anything about this movie. There's no internet or any bullshit. You open the gatefold, it's just a big table and chairs, which is cool. I would love that to be my dining room. But there's nothing there's nothing on this album cover or insert or label on the actual physical vinyl that says Kiss other than the name Kiss. That's it. Not even in a big bold logo. Nothing. So
I'm going to tell you.
Go ahead.
That's why I didn't buy that.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't buy it.
And I get it.
Because it said music from the Elder, and I'm looking for them, and I'm like, well, is this actually them? Or is this something that they're just going to be in? See, that's the kind of vibe that I got when I seen it, and that's why I didn't buy it. There you go.
Right.
All right, you go ahead.
So you're already fighting that. So you're better off coming out with something that most resembles your original music first. At least give them a reason to buy the album. There should have been enough common sense in management and record label and the band to know that this is going to be a massive departure from who we are. We know our fans are tried and true, long-haired, dope-smoking, drink, beer-swilling fans that like to headbang. They're not going to buy this if they probably won't buy this anyway. They were taking a huge risk. They need to stop worrying about other bands. I know they were probably trying to do their version of Tommy or something, and it just, whatever. The point is, you better put something out to keep your current fans from bailing, and they didn't. They came out with A World Without Heroes.
And to add insult to injury, you put out I Was Made for Loving You as a single 2 albums before, and then you put out Shandy as the first single as the album before this. Okay? I got no problem with them putting those songs out as singles, but not the first damn single, guys.
Okay.
You got to rock out with something, then you can put it out if you want to. Now,
I am so glad you brought up those 3 albums, because what they were doing really, really, and this will interest some of you, and you anything but Kiss fans, just bear with me. You can make the argument they were going for the sales, right? Pop music, they wanted to get that top 40 hit. That's where all the money was. Everybody wants to make money. It's all about money. Okay, I get it. But what I have stood on the hill of and will die on the hill of is you don't alienate the fans that got you there under any circumstances. If you want to make more money because your genre that your original fans love isn't the moneymaker, then do a side project. And then you can bring in pop fans for that band. Keep Kiss's name off of it. The reason I bring this up is because my reaction channel blew up almost a year ago because I found a band called The Warning. 3 Mexican sisters. I've briefly touched on here before. Whatever. Great fucking music. Unfucking believable. Instantly fucking hooked. They put an album out recently, and the first thing that happens is they release a song called Sick, which is a massive departure from their sound. They've got 3 or 4 releases on this that are, in my opinion, absolute garbage songs. And when I say garbage, I don't mean it's not talent. I mean, I'm here to listen to one thing, and you're giving me this other shit. And their fans rip me to shreds. Basically, they're kind of like we were when we were kids. They still think as 50-year-old men that their band could do no wrong. And if they shit on a sandwich, it's the best sandwich in the world. But and then I'll tell them, I said, that's fucking fine if you like. Well, they're just trying to go out and branch out and attract a younger audience because most of their fans are, middle-aged to older men. Okay, I get that frustration. But understand, they may not be and they never will be anywhere near Kiss's success level. They're not even, tour their own United States tour as a headliner type thing. But the bottom line is you can chase them dollar signs and try to bring in another audience. You better watch out, because you're going to fucking push me out. I'm out. I mean, there's 2, maybe 3 songs on that album that I listen to that I like, but they're already showing me signs of what other bands have done, and it ultimately ends to their fucking demise. You just don't forget who you were. I mean, not everybody, you got to realize Kiss was the biggest band on the planet. If anybody could afford it and survive it, it was them. They did by the shred of their ass. But if you're playing 3,000 seat arenas and that's your claim to fame, if you get invited to a whacking festival, they played 60,000 people. Yeah. And the other 39 bands helped draw those tickets. So if you can't do your own, US tour, world tour, and sell out 20,000 seat arenas, you are not in the league yet to where you can fuck with your sound. You just aren't. Nope. Kiss almost died, and this was the biggest band in the world, not just the United States, the world in the late 70s, and it almost killed them. So that's why I'm glad we just talked about these releases. Long story longer, side rant, whatever. When you come out with A World Without Heroes or Shandy or I Was Made for Loving You, and your fans are Cold Gin Deuce and fucking this kind of stuff, You are trying. It's almost like you're trying to kill your fucking career. And I'm not saying I don't like the songs I just listed. I'm just saying, stupid fucking move. Yeah, okay, I Was Made for Loving You, got you a big radio hit. How much of your fans abandoned you? How much did that affect Ace and Peter's fucking attitude towards being a member of KISS when these are two New York street guys who are into hard rock and now they're forced to do this kind of shit? I mean, poor Eric Carr finally gets to be, in the greatest band in the world. He comes in and his first album is Unmasked, which is basically playing a top 40 album. And then he comes into a concept album. What the hell was he thinking?
I know, man. He was tripping, dude. I know that. And a little side note I got to say because we got on this rant. Look at the bands that tried this, okay? That started out harder, heavier. I know it's addicting. You want to be on the radio. You want that taste of popularity and all this shit, okay? But you got to understand one thing, and something that they should have damn well understood by then. Those fans are not real fans. The pop world is always on to the next thing. They don't give a damn about what yesterday was. See, they're not loyal fans like metal and hard rock fans are. We're the loyalist fans ever in any genre across the board. I don't give a damn what anybody says, brother. And you want to jump out there and you made your career by not being played on the radio, okay? DJs and shit refusing to play your music. But your fans made you the biggest band in the damn world where you could do what. Why would you even want to try? Who gives a shit by then? There's a lot of, look, Night Ranger, perfect example. They started off heavy, and you didn't know at first when you see them, you think, well, damn, this is going to be a new heavy metal band with Don't Tell Me You Love Me, and You Can Still Rock in America. They dive into that soft side to get on the radio and play, and bands like that, I'm just saying there's a lot of them that came in at that time that started out heavy and got like that to be on MTV and the radio. And where did they wind up? You don't know. See, loyal hard rockers, you stay that way. You can put a dab of this or a dab of that in every once in a while, but don't let your singles is your lifeblood.
Yeah. And that's where what you just went through is another thing that I preached on these morning fans. Be careful, because the last thing you want to cater to is millennials and Gen Zs, these streaming generations. They don't give a fuck about you. More than not of these fans, they don't bother buying your fucking full album on stream. They damn sure don't go to the store or go to Amazon or your website to order the physical album. So all they care about is that song that's popular. And then guess what? That's a great song. I love this song. Oh, but did you see what this band did? Oh, okay, let me go get that song. Your flavor of the fucking month to these goddamn no attention span, no loyalty youth of today. And that's just the way country fans have more loyalty than pop fans do.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. Pop fans are a fad, dude. Yeah. They're just a fad. All right. Is it my role or yours?
We just did, you did only you, right? You did just a boy.
No, I done the oath at number 5.
The last one I did was my number 5. Whatever your number 5 was, have you done that?
Okay, it's your number 4 then.
Okay. So my number 4 is a wicked song called Only You. Very, very, again, different sound, much like most of this album. Love Gene's vocals on this. Absolutely love when Paul's got his time to shine in the middle of the song. You know, instead of looking at it like this isn't KISS, so this sucks, what I've done, and not even intentionally, is each one of these songs, since I knew it was going to be a movie, I can almost see a scene where the song would fit and what they were going for. And I may be completely off base, but it's fun for me. And this to me just is another one of those songs that you know was describing something cool that was going on in the movie. Absolutely love this song. And since I've ranted on everything else, I'm going to just leave it simple with this one. Only You, number 4.
And it's great. Yeah, I agree with you, and I'll get there. Number 4 for me, you've done touched on A World Without Heroes. Now, a song that I did despise, I will admit it. When I first seen it, first heard it, I did not understand. Okay. And I didn't take time to understand. See, that's what fans will do.
Yeah.
But it takes time sometimes for you to revisit something, and me having it in my cassette player for 5 months and somehow running into a chick that had a copy of the album, over time, this song is actually great, and I love Gene's vocals on this whole album. I love that voice of Gene, his Beatlesque / almost angry Gene voice. I love better than any of his voices. And the lead, Paul, I never knew it was him until I seen it. And damn, he hit it out of the park. I mean, the video at first is appalling, but I love the video. The tear didn't bother me because I actually believed, now this is somebody seeing it for the first time, that he was crying, the tear was coming down because of the destruction they had caused in the last 3 albums. Or where they were going.
Hold on. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. And I just want to throw in before you continue. And I want you to continue. I actually believed that tear was because he knew Ace was leaving the band. That's the scuttlebutt that was going around my youthful circles. They knew this was his last video. He was leaving the band. I thought it was an authentic tear myself. It wasn't until I became, a little older into my teen years that I thought it was cheesy. But I too believed it was for something different than what you did. Continue.
Yeah, and I didn't know Ace was out of the band. I thought Ace played Creatures of the Night.
No,
he was on the cover. I hadn't seen any videos.
That actually confused me when he was on the cover of Creatures, because I foolishly threw everything away in my 30s, late 20s. I used to rip out every magazine article and never saved the magazine because I was an idiot. I only wanted the Kiss stuff, so I just ripped the pages out. So I had a stack of, deteriorating, pages. There was an interview with pictures from the photo shoot of the Elder talking about how Ace was leaving the band. And then Creatures comes out, however, much longer, and Ace is still on the cover. I'm like, well, what the hell? So I did know at that time that he was going to be gone. So Creatures confused me. And it really confused me when then I Love It Loud video comes out. He's there front and center. And then I go to my first Kiss concert ever, and Vinnie Vincent's on stage. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
I can imagine, bro.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Hey, and now the first time I seen them without Ace is when Eric Carr and Vinnie Vincent was in the Ankh makeup on Night Flight interview.
Night Flight, yes. I had that recorded on VHS for years.
That was a Creatures interview, so I still didn't know until that point. So, all right, that's A World Without Heroes, my number 4.
Okay, number 3, you've already hit on. This actually dropped a spot. This used to be my number 2 for many years. Still probably my favorite Paul Stanley ballad of all time, next to, if you don't count his solo album, which, of course, Hold Me, Touch Me gets that spot. Just kidding. Just a boy. I absolutely love this song as a kid. I've loved it through my teens. I still love this song. I love the falsetto he hits in here. I love the fact that you can hear, Ed Grimley playing the triangle in the beginning. You guys who watch Saturday Night Live will get that reference.
Yeah, man.
It's just a beautiful song, beautiful acoustic work, everything. And like Scott said, it builds. I mean, it doesn't go into a power song, but it does have that, purpose and build. My only complaint about this song is it should have been about a minute longer. But it is what it is. Yeah, I absolutely love this song. So that's my number 3, Just a Boy.
Great song. Yeah, awesome ballad in my opinion too. Number 3 for me, you just got onto it a couple songs ago. Absolutely brilliant, and I've loved it since the first time I heard it. Only You, man. Damn. That is, I've always loved this song, man. Gene's voice again, here we go. Holy shit. I love that sound of his voice. He can sing his ass off when he wants to. And the coming in, it's got that steady beat, man, and then and then it just builds, man. It builds. Not much better I can say about this song. I think it's great. There's nothing in it I don't like, and I've always liked this song. Always.
Fabulous.
That's my number 3.
Okay. My number 2 is the one that leapfrog, Just a Boy. Always loved this song. Another one that kind of made me not terrified, but a little uneasy as a kid. Imagine this all got worse for someone who already feared this band once Creatures came out. But Under the Rose, to me, one of Gene's greatest vocal performances of all time. It is soothing until it's not. And when it's not, it is damn near, I picture hellfire and demons and death and just, yes. I know they could have. Yeah, they never could have done this live, obviously, because unless they brought monks out on stage to really hit that. It would have been tragic if they did and just tried to have the 4 of them replicate that chorus. Whoever those studio singers were need to be fucking bronzed. That chorus in this song is probably one of my favorite choruses out of any Kiss song ever. Then you got the guitar solo is just gorgeous. And you've got that haunting acoustic guitar picking in the beginning and the end, kind of off in the distance. This whole thing just represents a very dark, horrifying experience. I would have loved to see where this got placed in a movie with that kind of theme.
Yeah.
But there you go. Just the older I get, the more and more I love this song.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, man. Nothing I can say on that one. That was your number 2, right?
2, yeah.
My number 2, you have touched on already, and of course another one that I love since I first heard it, because I've never heard anything quite like it in a Kiss song, and damn if it don't work to perfection in this. How and who put this together? I wish they would have done more of this with the slinky strings and Mr.
Yes.
Blackwell. You Can Go to Hell, and if there's a demon song on here, that's it for Gene right there. And the other one you just got off of. It is just, and he hits that high note. You can tell. I mean, Gene gets up there on this song, man, without even realizing it. If you don't pay attention, you'll miss it almost, because it's such a droning song, man. But it's so damn good. And it was number 1 for me for a long time. It's just dropped 1 spot, but I don't see it dropping another spot, because that's how much I love this song. It is freaking awesome.
And I know everybody knows what you're talking about, but since he never technically said it, it is Mr. Blackwell.
Yeah, Mr. Blackwell.
Okay. My number one has been number one since the day I got the album, has never changed, has never wavered. It is the most bitchin' song on this album. That riff is probably one of the best Kiss riffs I've ever heard. The Oath. This song, this could have been on any album, because it's that heavy and that Kiss. It's probably the most representative of the Kiss sound, classic or future Kiss sound. And Paul's vocals on this are absolutely powerful. I get the echo is a little strong and it's a little distant, but he overcomes everything in this song. The music overcomes everything in this song, and the breakdown, traditional Paul breakdown in the middle, just destroys it. That's it. That will never be dethroned. The Oath.
Hey, it's great. I like it too, man. Like I said, from 7 Up, man, Escape from the Island Up, man, to me is all just great, man. Even Just a Boy. I mean, so, all right, my number one, and it's been my number one at points in times. So is Mr. Blackwell, but Under the Fucking Rose, bro.
Yeah.
Like you said it. That is the deepest, darkest, just I'm coming for you and your damn nightmares song, dude. And at the time, unfortunately, with the representation of the album that we've had for the past 2 albums, you don't know this is here. And until you have to buy the album or you listen to the album and actually hear it. And it's just absolutely dark Kiss at its best. I mean, wow. Damn near Creatures of the Night material, you know, with that production, and just, it's dark, deep, and I love it, and I've always loved it, man. Under the Rose, man. My number one. It's always been up high. Always Mr. Blackwell. And, of course, Only You, but those have always been at the top of my elder board, always. And
Awesome.
like he said, not the most representational song. That's The Oath. That's more of the Kiss sound and what could have been on anything, like he said. But I love it, but I love those above it too, man. They're just great songs. It's unfortunate that it had to be like it was when they released it, you know. So yeah, man. Music from the elder, bro.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. And gals, hopefully more gals in the future. We need to get that female demographic up. Great album. Highly underappreciated by the band included. You can say, and we've said it, it may seem a little hypocritical because we're like, why did they release this and this? You know, I'm so glad they did, because this is one of my favorite albums, not just Kiss albums of all time. So their mistake was my gain. There you go. The greatest table on the planet. I want that front door. I want that front door too. You couldn't knock that front door down with a battering ram.
I'm telling you, dude. Hey, he said it, guys. Give us, what do you like? What don't you like? I mean, hey, this is a controversial album. We know that. Everybody knows that. And it was for me at one time. I'm not going to lie. You know, I did not understand. Time goes on. You get older and wiser, and you listen to it. For fuck's sake, man. If you ain't listened to it in a while, just listen to it. You know? I mean,
and here's the tip. Here's a tip that I will tell you, and Scott will agree. For everything rock and metal, maybe not so much pop, country, whatever. Anything you have a question, if you really like it, take your headphones off, put them beside you, sit in a room where the speakers will peel the plaster off the fucking walls, crank it to the top fucking volume you can before it distorts, and then listen to it and get. That's how rock and metal was designed to be played. There are several things, like when Paul Stanley's Live to Win came out, what happened is they released snippets, like 15 to 20-second snippets on his website or the record label's websites of like 5 songs. And I'm listening to it on my computer volume. I'm like, God, what the fuck? I don't know if I'm going to like this album. And when I got it in my thumping ass system, completely fucking different story. So there you go.
Hey, that's the only way to listen to it, man, if you're going to get the full effect to know.
Yep.
You can't listen to it on the damn phone or no crappy shit like that. Everything sounds like shit that way.
And I don't care if you got, the $400 Snoop Dogg douche tee or whoever's headphones. I don't care. Headphones will never, ever, ever. They'll give you the minutia, the little things you may not hear.
Yes.
Ear to ear, but they will not envelop you in that power of the song. It would break your eardrums first if they could ever make headphones loud enough. So
yes,
always in a car with $1,000 system or with your fancy home stereo with your, whatever name brand speakers, always rock metal. If you're not sure if it's good or not, find that environment and blast the hell out of it.
Yes.
All right.
Agreed.
Until next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.